God bless football, Billy Gill.
God bless football, Mikey A.
God bless football, Fuentes.
God bless football, Stugotz.
Fuentes with a mic.
It's more of a camera thing.
Camera.
It's more of a camera. I always have the mic, but it's weird if it's always disembodied voice. Yeah.
We have a very exciting episode in store for the audience and for you, Billy.
Do we?
Well, you told us a story about meeting Adam Schefter's mom on a cruise last week, and so I reached out to Adam Schefter and asked if his mom would be nice enough to join us. And so Shirley Schefter is going to join us in a couple of minutes here on the show. Mikey A., why are you shaking your head?
Billy, are you a little bit nervous that it might not be the woman from the elevator? Just a little bit?
You know, I did absolutely no fact checking when this lovely woman, said I'm Adam Schefter's mother. I just kind of took her for her word. So I'm hoping that the person you have tracked down, who, I mean, if you went through Adam, it will be Adam Schefter's mother.
I did go through Adam. It's definitely his mom. And hopefully it's the person you met on the cruise.
So hopefully the person I met on the cruise is Adam Schefter's mom and not someone just making up a crazy lie.
It'd be great if she came on and Billy's like, who the hell are you?
Actually, I think I may be rooting for that because it'd be great if someone just lying about being Adam Schefter's mom for some reason.
It'd be an odd thing to lie about, right?
Yeah, but a perfect lie.
I'm trying to think of a more random person that you could go around saying that you're their parent.
But I could just think but that could be like the spot. Just some lady who's on a cruise, totally sauced with her drink package, just says, "Hey,
this will never haunt me."
Yes, I was watching TV this morning, and my son's Adam Schefter.
Yeah, exactly right. Because here's the thing: how many people would then, because myself included, how many people would think, you know what? Let's book this person on a podcast, because I knew when I told the story that would be Stugotz's move. I knew it immediately.
It always is, yes.
Had Stugotz not been in this picture, the story would have existed, and that would have been the end of it, and we never would have tried to track down Adam Schefter's mom.
But Fuentes, it would have been an odd lie to tell I'm Adam Schefter's mom.
Yeah, but
but the reason you're telling it is because you're trying to impress Billy. I mean,
yeah, but when you're drunk, you just want to tell stories.
Right,
you know?
that's true.
She could have been watching TV. Oh, that guy, that's a handsome young man, Adam Schefter. I'm going to tell the next person I see I'm his mom. You know?
Hey, Christian McCaffrey signed an extension, huh?
Yes. Yeah. A lot of money.
And CJ Stroud, I guess, just hates Aaron Rodgers.
It's weird with CJ Stroud. Well, first off, on Christian McCaffrey, and we'll get to Tua towards the end of the show here, but it is interesting with McCaffrey. He ran out of guaranteed money. So they gave him some more guaranteed money to keep him happy so he could say he's making $19-20 million a year. The big question is, what does this mean for Debo? What does it mean for Ayuk? What are the Niners going to do? Because they can't sign all three of those guys. And by three, I mean those two wide receivers and eventually Brock Purdy. So that's going to be interesting to see what the 49ers do. As for CJ Stroud, I don't know, Mikey, I'm torn on this, man, because we finally have a quarterback who is willing to say stuff. Quarterbacks are notorious for saying nothing. And now you have a quarterback in his second year, entering his second year, and it feels like he's saying too much. It's weird.
Yeah, you know what the problem is I like CJ Stroud so much, but he just hates Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know why.
Well, he's not alone. I mean,
but it seems every interview he seems to just out of the blue pick a random quarterback that he's like, I'd rather be that person than Aaron Rodgers. It's like, what happened here? What is going on? Exactly?
I'd rather be Matthew Stafford. He said Stafford would have done more with those Packer teams than Rodgers actually did.
That's the comment.
That's a
for
shot.
him to say like he would have won 4 Super Bowls. That's a shot.
Well, okay, but
the other one's whatever. It's a comparison. 2 guys, 2 Super Bowls.
No, but here's the thing.
I want to be clear. I love it. I wish CJ Stroud was my quarterback. I mean,
CJ Stroud also ranked his top 5 quarterbacks. Yes. And Matthew Stafford was not on that list. But then he went and he praised Matthew Stafford, saying how much he loves him and how he tries to go out of his way to find him when he's in LA. So, Aaron Rodgers is at least 6 on the current list of quarterbacks, correct?
Well, he left Josh Allen off, and then he put him back in.
Well, no, then Aaron has to be 8, right? Because he's not in the top 5, which would make him 6. But Stafford was not in it, which would make him 7.
He had Jalen Hurts at 5. He took Hurts out. He put Josh Allen in at 5. So Hurts is 6. You're right.
His top 5 is 6. Yes. Then plus Stafford is 7. So at least 8.
Yes.
Is Aaron Rodgers.
At least 8, yeah.
I don't understand it.
They play the Jets this year.
Again.
I know. I want to say the Jets are going to be fired up. Aaron's going to throw for 5 touchdowns, but I don't think that.
But he's not going to be playing.
He'll be hurt well before then.
It's Halloween.
Oh, I hate that.
Thursday night.
Yeah. Anyway, Shirley Schefter, Adam's mom, next.
Once again, Jeff's feet are in the picture.
Tell him to leave his feet right there. No, Mikey, she was telling me a story that she did another podcast, and she feels like her husband was in on the joke where he just kept walking by the cameras, and then he just left a leg in the picture.
Let's see. There we go. Now you can get a better view of them.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. Thank you for doing this.
This is my pleasure.
It is our pleasure. Do you remember, now that you've seen, can you see Billy?
I see Billy. Where's Billy? On the bottom there. Oh, there you are.
Yes.
Hello, Mrs. Schefter. I was going to wear the hat again, but I left it by mistake.
You could call me Shirley. That's fine.
Hello, Shirley. How are you? Thank you so much for doing this.
That's okay. At least you're not apologizing like Stu.
Yeah. She gets mad at me because I apologize. You're my friend's mom. Like, I don't want to upset you. I want this to be the start of a rosy relationship.
Okay. We'll give it a whirl. Jeff, move to the right. Your feet are still there.
Jeff, keep your feet right there.
Okay. This is terrific. Okay. So, guys, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know where this is going, Shirley, but I can tell you it's all been worth it already. Okay? Your husband's feet. Yes. Yeah. Mikey A is nodding his head in approval. Billy told a great...
You should send that picture to Adam and see if he notices anything unusual about that shot, that opening shot.
Okay.
Before.
Okay. Where would he... well, tell the audience, if you don't mind. We'll get to you and Billy and your chance encounter on a cruise ship a couple of weekends ago. But where would Adam have seen that before?
On the McCaffrey podcast. On Lisa McCaffrey's podcast the week before Super Bowl.
Okay, so that's Christian's wife.
So these feet are familiar to the audience, the viewing audience.
Is that just Jeff's spot? Jeff always kind of posts up there?
No, before they were on my shoulder, but now he's moved out of the room so he won't be visible, but
okay.
He's still visible.
I like the idea of Jeff just sticking him out as far as he can and you directing him what he needs to do now. There he is. Oh, he knows how to play along.
There's Jeff. Hi, Jeff.
I must take a picture of this because
trying to cooperate.
Don't.
Jeff, you're fine just how you are. Don't worry.
Yes.
Never change.
Oh, my God. So Billy told us a great story last week on the show on God Bless Football that he had a chance encounter with you. He had left some stuff back at the room, and he spent 2 floors on an elevator with you. So maybe you met for what, like 4 or 5 minutes, Billy?
Well, so yes, Shirley doesn't know the specifics, but Shirley, what happened is I was on the cruise with my wife and my 2 young daughters. We got off the ship. We were going to go to the beach in Bimini that day. We were going to go to the pool. We were going to go kind of explore the situation. One of my daughters has been sick. We were back and forth. Are we going to go? Are we not going to go? We finally decided to go. Once I got off, I realized I left my eldest daughter, who's now 3 years old, I left her swim floaties back in the room. So I had to go back up to get them.
It's a good thing you did.
Yeah, I had to go back up and get them just so she could kind of enjoy the beach and the pool that day. Mm-hmm. And that led to what I described to Stugotz as a life-changing moment for me. Because I went up, I was staying on the 6th floor. I went up, I decided, you know what, it's just 6 floors. If I'm going down, it's quick. So I went up and I got, the swim jacket that she has to do. And I was about to walk down the stairs. I decided not to walk down the stairs just because at that point I was tired. I was just like, well, I'll just take the elevator down. Mm-hmm. And because I decided to take the elevator that day and because I forgot the swim jacket the first time around, I was able to meet you. And I told them...
Luckiest day of your life.
Well, I described you as a person who has changed the world because without you, we wouldn't have had your son, Adam Schefter. And without you, I don't even know if
NFL... Jeff, right.
Well, I don't know if NFL news would even be broken without Adam, So should you have not had Adam, the world would be vastly different. And I'd argue a worse place than because of the gift that you gave us in Adam.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I don't often get recognition for being Adam's mother, but you could tell he had a very good upbringing.
I can tell.
Yeah. You deserve all the credit. That's what we're trying to say. Like, I know Adam gets a lot of the credit and he has all these reports, but there is no Adam without Shirley. That's what we're saying.
Right.
You know?
That's correct.
Yes.
Not sure how much Jeff had to do with it, but.
Right. Well,
respectfully, Jeff.
It was a one-shot deal with Jeff, but that's
he sank it.
There was an end there. You were about to say something. Tell a story. What happened there, Shirley?
Adam was meant to be in football. As a matter of fact, he was due the end of November, and we were at Penn State. I had to stay home because I wanted to deliver in New York. I'm a New Yorker. Mm-hmm. And I had to stay home from Thanksgiving on. And he was due the end of November, and Adam was born December 21st. As a result, his head was shaped as a football. So we knew he was destined to be in the football world. Yeah. He came out with a head shaped like a football. So we knew he was meant for great stuff.
Yep.
In the football world.
Yep, that's a giveaway right there. If your head is shaped like a football.
Yes, it came to a point and they would like fix his hair and it came up to a point and that was it. And his father had said if he wasn't a boy, he was going back. So it was a good thing. In those days, you couldn't tell what it was ahead of time.
Right.
Adam is 57 years old. Contrary to popular belief, everybody thinks he's a lot younger.
Yeah.
But he's old man Adam. That's why he's a senior advisor.
How is your son young or older than you are, Shirley?
You know, he got so old we became twins.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Yeah.
Now we're twins.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Jeff said if you had a daughter, he was going to send the daughter back. Where does Jeff think he's sending the daughter back?
The daughter. It was his first child, and he only wanted a boy.
Okay, but how does Jeff think that works?
You call the store?
I wasn't quite sure myself, but luckily Adam was a boy, and life went on.
Right. Were you?
And then we went on to have a beautiful girl and another boy, and it was all good.
Did Jeff keep the girl or send the girl back?
Did Jeff send the girl back?
Then he was fine with the girl.
Okay,
that was
good.
it. As long as he had his son, that was fine.
So once he had Adam, he was good with anything that happened after that?
It didn't matter after that. It was all good.
Okay. What was Adam like as a kid?
Adam was very, very, he never sat still.
Right.
Mm-hmm. They knew us at the emergency room. I would walk in. Hello, Mrs. Schefter. Adam went through a glass wall, high energy. He went through a glass wall in Lefrak City, floor to ceiling, right through.
Oh.
Yeah, he was in his footy pajamas and he was sliding around and he went backwards and he didn't even get a scratch, which was amazing. And they said because he was going so fast and the force, the glass went and he didn't. And we were so lucky that he didn't get beheaded, really. And he was just, he was on the go constantly.
When Adam was younger, did you guys ever worry about saying things around him? Like, did Adam grow up as a gossip of sorts where you said, you know what, we can't say too much around him because he'll tell everyone?
No.
Okay.
But he's always been this curious, right? Yeah. Like, he's always been curious.
Bit of a chatty
Adam
Cathy.
Was not meant to be a sports writer. It was totally by good luck. He went to school. He graduated the University of Michigan, but he went to school planning on coming into the family business. He worked for us. He went to school with a sales book selling to dollar stores. He had a sample book. And when his friends in the freshman class, when they all went to get bids in fraternity, he had gone out with an upperclassman's girlfriend unbeknowingly. When they went to get bids, that guy blackballed Adam. And all his friends got bids and Adam did not. And he was devastated that everybody was going to be pledging and he was left out. And he had nothing to do and he was freaking out that everybody was going to be busy and he had nothing. So he wanted to be a ball boy and the ball boy's job was taken and he wanted to be a jockstrap picker-upper and that was gone. And he didn't know what he was going to do when all his friends were pledging. So somebody recommended that there was a gopher job on the Michigan Daily. So he went and he became a gopher on the Michigan Daily. And he loved it so much. By the time he was a senior, he was sports editor. And that was the year they won football and basketball. And everybody was reading about what he was writing. And he had sent out about 500 applications to various places. And if they would have taken him to cover girls basketball in Iowa, he'd probably still be there. But everybody said, you have a great future, get a master's. So he went to Medill School of Journalism for 1 year. And he got a non-paying internship at the Seattle Post-Intelligencer. He went out there and he covered the Goodwill games, and he did a great job. He came home, and within 2 days, he had 2 job offers. One was to go to LA Times and be a gopher, and the second one was to go to the Rocky Mountain News and cover the Denver Broncos. He called me up at work. I came home and drove him to the airport. Wow. And he went to Denver that very day and was there for 15 years.
Wow.
I'm imagining Adam in a world where he went to Iowa to cover women's basketball, and all of the Caleb Clark beats for Adam Schefter bylines.
Yeah. But Shirley, let's be clear, none of this happens without you.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was Adam and I were extremely close. We spoke on a daily basis beyond. My father used to get so pissed. He used to say, that kid can't take a shit without talking to you. I mean, he used to kill me. He spent more time on the phone than was humanly possible.
He hasn't let up, I can tell you that much.
No, now we hardly speak. He has no time for me. He's too busy talking to everybody else.
Wait a second. What's the biggest family occasion he missed because work got in the way? Has it happened?
Oh, my God. He almost misses everything.
That was excellent by Jeff, by the way. Keep doing that, Jeff. I saw what you did, okay? It's appreciated. Anyway, back to you, Shirley.
He's drawing back a little.
I can tell.
Let's see. I'm telling you, it was touch and go whether he was going to be at my surprise 75th birthday party. His father did not know that he was coming until he walked in and saw him there. As a matter of fact, this is a true story. Jeff did not invite any of my children to my 75th surprise party because he thought Adam couldn't come, and he didn't want him to be embarrassed that the other kids were there. We have 3 children.
Wow.
So he didn't invite the children. And one of my cousins called my daughter and said, where are you staying for the party? And my daughter said, what party? They said, your mother's surprise party. And she found out about 2 weeks before the party that we were having a party, or they were having a party. She freaked out and all hell broke loose. And it turned out that they were there. But Adam came in that morning and left that afternoon. I mean, he was in, saw the party, and left.
When's your birthday?
My birthday's in May, but the party was in March.
Okay.
I'm not buying your 75.
That's right around draft season, Shirley. I think it's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you want to know the secret, I'll tell you.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, love secrets.
Don't
tell
sleep
Adam.
in formaldehyde, but don't tell.
What?
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
It seems like your husband only wanted Adam at the party. I mean, it seems like he loves just one of the kids. I mean,
oh,
he didn't.
Wow.
No,
Jeff, who's your favorite?
Jeff. Put one leg up if Adam is your favorite. Okay, just one leg or a finger. Shirley, we want to make you our insider here. Now you're an outsider, but you have unprecedented access to the inside. And so I have a feeling that either you have been around when a report has come into Adam's phone and Adam is off doing something, he's in the bathroom, and you see the report before Adam sees the report. Or we just have you steal Adam's phone and, he'll think he'll lost it. He'll get another one. He's probably got 12 of them.
Yeah.
And as the texts come in, you just pretend you're Adam, and then you give the news to us before Adam gives it to the rest of the world. What do you think?
Great idea. We love practical jokes. I'll tell you a true story about without mentioning names, I was at the owners' meeting with Adam and the children, and one of the spouses came up to me and said that they were so sure their better half was having an affair because he kept sneaking into the bathroom in the middle of the night making phone calls. And when he took a shower and she took the phone, she found out he'd been speaking to Adam.
Wow.
And I assured her he and Adam were not having an affair and that they were not gay, and she was safe.
That was the cruise. What does Shirley and Jeff do
Which
on a
cruise?
Well, okay, see, great
The one you
question.
met, the one you may have met Billy on.
No.
Because you know what? I was on 2 different women cruises 4 weeks apart.
Really?
Yeah, so I wasn't sure which one you were talking about. But when you said Bimini,
Yeah.
that's pretty funny. That was the most recent cruise. And that was so fast. It was only 3 nights.
Yeah, it was
were
a
on
short one.
Before, yeah, it was very nice, but it was too quick.
So are you a cruiser? What do you do on a cruise? How does Shirley experience a cruise?
I wreaked havoc.
Oh, yeah? Really?
Drink package?
Yeah, what do we do? Drink package?
But, you know, I
casinos?
thought possibly that you were talking about the cruise from about 4 weeks prior to that. I was on a cruise with 9 women, and it turned out that it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan club.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And what happened was there were, prior to that, the year before, there were about 200 fans. This year, there were 600 fans and about 150 players, front office. It was crazy, but the fans, these fans were nuts. They got dressed in the garb on a daily basis. They had everything, socks, sneakers, hats, bathing suits. And then one day they did costume. They were wenches, they were buccaneers, they were pirates. The whole thing was really bizarre. And then the boys that were on the team played the water volleyball against the staff.
Uh-huh.
In fact, let me see if I could find you a picture. Then I sent home to everybody how you could eat as much as you want, drink as much as you want, not exercise, and still look smaller than when you left the place. And it was like the new diet find that I had come up with. And everybody was like busting to know how to do this. And I showed them my new method, and I will show you.
Okay.
Wait.
Just have to stand next to.
Now bring it back the other way, closer to you. There you go.
Yeah, there you
just
go.
have to stand next to the Buccaneers.
Are you a Buccaneers fan, or did you just by chance
No.
end up on 2 Buccaneers fan cruises?
Right.
No, it was just I happened to be there.
Twice.
So you're saying your new diet is do whatever the hell you want and just stand next to a Buccaneer?
Stand next to big guys, right?
There you go.
That's a great strategy. Yes.
Eat as much.
Stop
as
looking
you
at me,
want,
Stu.
drink as much as you want,
You
and
felt
stand
that.
next to big people.
Now, Shirley, did the Buccaneers know who you were when they took the photo with you?
Well, when they took the photo, they did. Not in the beginning. But not in the beginning. But when they took the photo, they did.
The way Shirley revealed to me that she was Adam's mother was, I thought, one of the sweetest things.
What were you wearing? You were wearing an ESPN hat?
He was supposed to wear it today. He forgot it, Shirley.
Yeah, so I got in the elevator and I was flustered because my family's now waiting for me downstairs at Bimini off the boat. I went up to get the swim vest, and when I stepped in the elevator, every single floor had been lit up. So from 6 down to 2, every single floor had been pressed. So
She wreaks havoc.
I let out a sigh of sorts, and I thought, and Shirley mentioned the hat, but I thought she was commenting on the fact that all the lights were lit up. And she said something, and I just kind of smiled, and she goes, I like your hat, or something along those lines. Do you work at ESPN? And I said, well, I used to. Now we have a podcast, separate from ESPN. And again, we were on 6 going down, and she's like, oh, my son worked at ESPN, but the one in Bristol, not the LA one. So I said, who's your son? Thinking, maybe I cross paths with her son. There's thousands of jobs at ESPN in all kinds of departments. And she said, well, he's in the ESPN Insider, or he's an ESPN Insider.
Right.
So I heard that, and I was like, I didn't realize that was a department. Who's she going to tell me? And for a moment, Shirley, I thought, could I be possibly talking to Field Yates' mother right now? Like, what are the odds? And then she said to me, my son's name is Adam Schefter. And I was like, wait, what? Your son is Adam Schefter? And then we get to the fourth floor, and I'm like, oh my God, we just had Adam Schefter on the podcast a couple weeks ago. What a small world. And we get to the fourth floor, and she's like, all right, I'll see you later, because you were getting off on the fourth floor. So we had 2 magical floors together and 1,000 questions that were never addressed. And Shirley, I told Stugotz this, and I told the audience this. Later that night when we got back on the boat from Bimini, I put the ESPN hat back on just in case we'd run into each other again, just to have the conversation.
Right.
Because you seem to be in a rush. You seem to be having a great time on that cruise.
She was getting hammered.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Well, from Bimini, I met the offensive linebacker from the University of Michigan.
On the ship?
Yeah, he was on the ship. Yeah.
What a cruise. I mean,
my friends found him at the beach in Bimini.
Okay.
And, they told him that Adam Schefter's mother was on the cruise because he said he was at Michigan. And he was like looking for me. And I said, I'll find him. And of course, when I saw this like monster walking through the dining room, I go, Dominic? And he looked at me. I said, did you go to Michigan? He goes, how do you know? And then he goes, oh my God, are you Adam Schefter's mother? So I said, yes, could I take a picture with you? Because I ate an awful lot of
new
dinner.
diet, exactly right.
Just stand next to a Buccaneer. Has that indeed ever happened, by the way, what I referenced earlier? Have you ever seen, had Adam's phone and a reporter's come in and you've seen it before Adam sees it?
No, because he never lets go of those phones, number one.
Rude.
But he does give his father some inside information. And while we're in the car, he could call and say, listen, don't say anything, but. And he gives him the whole litany of what's going on. And I hear it too, but it doesn't matter because I forget and I don't know who anybody is anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. But Jeffrey has it down pat, but he wouldn't say a word because he's afraid of being cut off.
Oh, really?
Cut off. Uh-oh.
Were Adam's first words, speaking of words, according to my sources?
What were they? No, they weren't. They had nothing to do with football.
It'd be great if he came right out of the womb and just said, according to my sources.
And he yelled,
my
touchdown.
sources, I'm hungry.
The doctor slapped him and he said touchdown. He never cried.
I love the idea of Adam possibly getting beat on a story because he's calling Jeff to tell Jeff first before the world knows.
No, he would never do that.
If you don't mind, don't give your address out here, okay? But where in Florida are you and Jeff?
We're in Boynton Beach.
Okay, we're going to have some lunch together, okay?
What?
Me, you, and Jeff. I am in Parkland, Florida. I am going to take the two of you out for lunch. I'm going to steal Jeff's phone, okay?
Oh.
And let me tell you something. Jeff can talk football.
Right.
Oh, yeah?
I could talk people, but Jeff could talk football.
Well, Jeff, we make some picks every week. I don't know if during football season you want to come on and tell us what you think about certain games.
Listen, we want both of you. We want both the Schefters. Your son's already he's like a weekly fixture on the show, okay? He's very nice to me. He's great. Anytime I ask him, he says yes. I am talking about a paid position for Shirley Schefter and Jeff Schefter on God Bless Football. Are we in?
I could be Madam Adam and he could be Ad and Dad.
Wow, I like that.
Sold. Done. Now, Jeff just wants to make picks, right? That's all he cares about. He wants to talk football.
Jeff's good at that.
Yeah?
Okay. All right,
Is he willing to do it with Gordy Gronkowski?
Yes, Rob's brother.
Rob's, other brother. He didn't play football.
I know, Rob.
Yes. We don't get we don't get the actual celebrities on. We get the parents of the family.
Yeah.
The people who are responsible for their success.
We're a family show.
Cast-offs.
Yes.
No, we're a family
not
show.
cast-offs.
Exactly right.
You deserve all the credit. We get the people responsible for the people.
Exactly. The unheralded heroes, I'd like to say.
Yes. Yes.
We are the unsung heroes.
Thank you for your service.
All right, so we will have you'll be positioned as the football outsider with unprecedented access to the inside, okay? And Jeff will come on and be an NFL expert, all right?
He is an NFL expert.
Yeah.
Ask Jeff who he thinks. Like, which career would he rather have, Aaron Rodgers or Eli Manning?
Ooh, yeah. CJ Stroud's been asking.
Jeff?
Eli Manning.
Eli
Oh,
Manning.
wow.
2 rings, Jeff? Is that the
Stroud.
deal? It's rings, right?
I'm a long-time Giants fan,
Oh.
so I'm a little bit partisan.
Okay. How about Phil Sims's career or Dan Marino's career?
Oh boy, how do you?
Here, come on in here.
Yeah, come over,
He's
Jeff.
got a ring, and unfortunately, Dan, who's an all-time iconic player,
Right.
doesn't.
Mhm.
That's a shame, but
Right.
tough to turn away from Marino.
What do you think the Giants should do about Danny Dimes?
Play him this year, and if that doesn't work out,
Yeah.
then figure out how to move on. I thought they should have done that this year in the draft, but obviously they went in a different direction. And I think based on the fact that they own 40 big ones next year, he's their quarterback in 24.
What about Dable? Are we happy with him or not so much?
He's a friend of
Yes,
the show.
yes.
He's a friend of our show, so
Yeah.
be careful. Yeah. What do you say?
Yeah, I think he's very qualified. Best coach they've had since Coughlin.
Yeah.
But if they start 0-4, Jeff, you'll come on this show on a weekly basis. If they start 0-4, week 4, we're going to fire him, right?
Well,
I don't blame you.
No, Jeff, you're going to fire him,
Yeah.
okay? And your wife's going to report it before Adam does, all right?
I'll be happy.
all right, there you go. Gettleman, too. We were over Gettleman, right?
Yeah, Gettleman enough.
enough
Right.
of Gettleman.
You like Edelman?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Who's the greatest?
He's quite a character.
Who's the greatest player in Giants history? Is that obvious? It's LT. So after LT, who's the greatest player in Giants history?
Greatest player in Giants history after LT,
Yeah.
very quickly, might be the guy who actually played next to him, Harry Carson.
Oh, he was great. Yeah, great linebacker. Carl Banks. that
Yeah,
whole team.
they really were great. But I go back to the old days, and I still have a fondness for Y.A. Tittle that can't be matched.
Shirley mentioned before
I
that.
had season tickets at Yankee Stadium when I was a kid, and got me addicted to the sport, and been with it ever since.
Shirley mentioned before that Adam was going to go into the family business. Is that something you guys still have going, or is the family business no longer in operation?
No longer in operation.
I was going to get you guys to promote it so we can give you some
Yeah, but now we
business.
have a new
Yeah.
business venture with us. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been retired for almost 8 years now, so this is going to will get me started up again.
You mentioned Adam and missing a report. I will tell you this, Shirley. He was once on the show with me and Dan Le Batard. He was taking NBA calls. He loves basketball. You guys know that. He loves the Knicks.
Right.
And he was taking calls with us. And while he was doing that segment, he missed out on a big NFL report.
Oh, boy. He must have kicked himself for that one.
He kicked me. He was very mad.
Do you know that his daughter's on TV?
Really?
No.
Nobody knows about Dylan Schefter.
Huh.
She's on NFL Slime Time on Wednesday nights.
Wow.
Really?
Billy loves that.
Players.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Yes.
She has a contract with Nickelodeon.
Wow.
Amazing. Amazing. You guys are beaming. You're so proud of your kids, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeff, what'd you think you were going to do if Adam turned out to be a daughter? I'm just wondering how you think that process
I would have
works.
accepted the results gladly, no matter what my wife says.
Yeah.
You guys are wonderful. CJ Stroud, Jeff, quickly. He hasn't done anything. He had a 1 year, rookie year. He's ranking quarterbacks. He's taking shots at Aaron Rodgers. How about you how about get to a Super Bowl yourself before you start commenting on every other quarterback in the NFL? You agree?
Yeah, I totally. He's still, when you stop and think about it, he's still a kid.
Yes.
And he's got to mature as far as his mental approaches and what he's saying out loud. So that'll come, but he certainly has all the God-given talent in the world.
No doubt about it. Billy, you're looking this up now? You're looking up the Schefter's daughter?
Oh, yeah, Dylan.
Perhaps Dylan would like to be part of this every week on the show.
I'll tell you something. If you look up Dylan, when she was little, Adam brought her on the red carpet at the ESPYs. She's done interviews for the most amazing people. She did Tom Brady. She did Bill Belichick. She did Simone Biles. She did
on and on. But yeah.
Yeah.
She did the Super Bowl.
Seth Curry. When this is even before she was official, somebody tried to get her attention, and she goes, "I can't. I'm waiting to get Seth Curry." But she must have been 4 or 5 years old at the time.
These
because
Schefters,
she grew
man.
up in an all-adult world, and she always watched Adam.
Right.
So it just came so easily to her.
Right. Adam set a bad example. If my big brother's going to walk around and ignore my parents with 5 phones in his hands, I'm going to do the same thing.
And she does, and she drives everybody crazy.
All right, we're going to make Dylan a part of this, okay? It's going to be a weekly thing during the football season, all right?
We speak for her. I know she'll be happy to be.
Okay. Jeff, you're going to be happy. I can tell. You're very happy about this. Listen, it's an outlet for you to give all your football opinions, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Jeff has great opinions.
Okay, and Shirley, this is an outlet for you to report news and give opinions on your son, okay?
Be happy to. Look forward to it.
Oh, this is fantastic. And we're going to have lunch, Boynton Beach, okay? The 2 of us.
Oh, you got it.
Or the 3 of us.
Great.
Well, we're professional eaters, so you better be careful.
Where's the establishment you most like to go to?
Oh, I guess.
Oh, we have a few.
We have a few. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. All right. Little chopped liver, you know what I'm saying? Matzo ball soup.
Where did you come from?
Me?
Before Florida.
I was born in Long Island, Port Washington, and I moved down here about 20 years ago. I think I grew up not too far from where you guys were.
That's correct.
Yep.
We lived in Belmore for 30 some odd years.
38 years.
And then sold and moved to Jericho
Wow.
for about 10 years.
How were you lucky enough, Jeff, to not be a Jet fan?
Again, I go back to the 50s when I was lucky enough to have season tickets to the Giants, and that addicted me to them.
Jeffrey was a Giant fan. Adam was a Jet fan growing up. And Jordan, our youngest son, was a Charger fan.
What?
Really? Why? That's weird.
I don't know.
But I have to admit I'm a Jet fan now because I have several family members who have been lifetime Jet fans. Obviously, you have to be old enough to remember '69, but in this case, none of them were alive, and I do want to see them get a championship ring. So I'm actually rooting for the Jets more than the Giants now.
Well, that's very nice of you. We appreciate that.
We've got 4 rings, so.
Yes, you're bragging. Look at you, Jeff.
I have a Bronco. I have an exact replica of the Broncos Super Bowl ring because when the Broncos won their Super Bowls, Adam was covering them, and we went to the parties. We went to their victory party in Miami.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were at that game where Prince was performing at halftime, correct?
Well, Jeffrey, after the first Super Bowl, he didn't go to the games anymore.
Oh, I see.
would go by myself.
Why?
I would stay in the hotel, and I much prefer on TV.
Oh, my man.
Jeffrey.
Yes.
Yeah,
He gets
much
it.
prefer.
And I would go for the hoopla.
Of course. You wreaked havoc. That's what you did. Shirley, you're fantastic. Jordan, Charger fan? I'm thinking about leaving him out of this segment.
Yeah,
okay?
we don't need Jordan.
It's weird.
Love Jordan, but
It's
all
weird.
It
right.
was growing up.
I can't wait to introduce Jeff to Chris Sims. This is going to be
Oh,
fantastic.
you know what? Jordan might like Austin Eckler.
Oh, yeah. Austin Eckler's also a weekly guest on the show here, so perhaps Jordan will be interested. But we'll have Chris Sims for you, Jeff, okay, and Phil.
Okay.
All right?
Just played golf with Boomer.
Yes, listen.
Adam just played golf with Boomer last week.
Booms.
Yeah.
Boomer Esiason.
Yeah.
Oh, he was just on the show a couple of weeks ago, Boomer.
Adam just played golf with him.
All right.
Good guy. A Ranger fan, so he's in mourning right now, but
Yeah.
let's move on.
How are you? Jeff, you're in mourning too, I can tell.
Well, I grew up listening to Ranger games on WINS in New York, and
I was there with the Islanders with the Stanley Cup.
That's what I'm talking about. 4 consecutive Stanley Cups. Yes.
I was there by accident.
What do you mean by accident?
I was best friends with somebody from Cantor Fitzgerald, unfortunately, who's no longer here.
Yeah.
But he had tickets. He had great seats, and he was the coach of a Little League team, and he had to go to the game. So his wife and I took his tickets that night that they won the Stanley Cup.
Oh, that's amazing.
You know, speaking about cups, this is a funny story with the...
Please tell it.
Where were we with the trophy, the Lombardi trophy?
What a transition. Speaking of Cubs.
Where were we?
Yeah, we were. Adam used to get us when we would go to the Super Bowls. We would always stay in Adam's room. Jeffrey and I would go. He was young when he was covering the Broncos. He was out of college, and he wanted to share his fabulous life with his parents. So we would go to all these Super Bowls, and we would stay in his room. And the public relations director of the Broncos would get us these media pins, and we could go anywhere we wanted, which for me was fantastic because I was always going where I didn't belong. Anyway, so we wound up in this room with the Lombardi trophy.
What?
Oh, so I gave it to Adam. I was taking pictures with it, and I gave it to Jeff. We were all taking a photo shoot. And the guy walked in. He said, "You can't hold those." I didn't know you're not allowed to touch it. You have to wear gloves or something. I said to him, "This would be a great picture. Take a picture like, oh, wishing you a winning season for." So we got in trouble with that one. But Rick Riley, who is, I think he's hilarious,
Right.
said to Adam, "You know, Adam, you have the life. All these magnificent women." Adam was single at the time. In the lobby, and here you have the best pickup line in the world. You go over to one of these babes and you say, "Hey, you want to come up to my room and meet the parents?" Because
Shirley, you told me a story, and quickly, and we'll get you guys out of here, and we appreciate it. You've been great. Of how unhelpful Adam was in a desperate time of need for you in a Boston hotel room.
at the Fairmont.
Yes. Would you mind? I won't
This
build.
is a classic story, and I won't interrupt. This is Shirley's story.
Okay, Jeff, you're a good man. We appreciate that.
We went to watch Adam at the Boston Marathon. We were staying at the Fairmont Hotel. Unfortunately, they didn't give Adam the room that he wanted. He was very upset. The bathroom had a sink with a tub next to it, with the toilet next to the tub. It was L-shaped, so the tub was freestanding with a shower curtain that had a wraparound metal rigging with a plastic shower curtain hanging down, and it had a little ledge underneath. So Adam was at the sink shaving, and I went to put my stuff there, and for some reason I tripped over the ledge, got wrapped in the shower curtain, flew backwards, wrapped in the curtain, and dragged all the apparatus from the ceiling. But not only did the hardware come crashing down, but it ripped sheets from the ceiling. And I was so scared they were going to make us pay for this bathroom. So I jumped up. Jeffrey heard this crash. Of course, he was laying in bed. But Jeffrey heard this tremendous crash. And Adam looked at me. I was upside down, wrapped in the curtain in the tub. And he looked at me with that face and he goes, "What'd you do that for?" And I said, "Oh, I just felt like taking a leap into the tub." So I jumped up and I ran to the phone and I called the front desk and I go, "Oh my God, the man upstairs slammed the bathroom door and the whole ceiling came down."
What?
I said, "You didn't even have mollies in it." I don't know what made me say. Before I hung up, they were at the door banging for us to change rooms. They came in and they looked. It looked like a bomb went off. I mean, that whole metal round rod was in the tub with sheet metal, all the sheet rock, everything was hanging. But since they gave Adam a really hard time at checkout and checking in and said they had no other rooms for us, when they told us to switch rooms and they sent me to the woman that had given Adam such a hard time, I said, "You told us you had no other room." She said, "Well, you're not allowed to stay in that room." I said, "Unless you could give us another room with 2 double beds, we're not moving." And I insisted on staying in that room to aggravate her because she had aggravated Adam.
Hey, that's how you do it. That's why you deserve all the credit, and Adam deserves none of it. You hear me?
Let me tell you something. I am the best friend anybody could have,
Yep.
or the worst enemy.
Right.
Oh, I like that.
You'll never get a better friend or a worse enemy.
I love
Trust
it.
me, I know that.
And we're back.
We are.
Shirley and Jeff.
Oh my God, Shirley.
Why do
and
you
Jeff.
do that? Like, why do you promise everyone everything? And why did you specifically in this instant promise them money?
Perhaps I went too far there, but I would like to. Yes, perhaps.
You promise. You promised Shirley.
Listen, I will have
and
lunch.
Jeff.
I will have
and
lunch.
Adam Schefter's daughter and his brother, who's a Chargers fan.
No, I told Jordan we want nothing to do with him.
But
I
then
mean,
He did say Jordan was out.
yeah, I
he
said
backed
Jordan.
up
I
on the
saved
Jordan.
us some money. Yes.
Not the Chargers guy.
How'd you feel about it, Billy?
It was great until you started promising them jobs. Like, why did you do this?
Listen, I want a weekly segment. We check in with the Schefters. That's all.
But you could check in with people like once a month, twice a season. You don't
that's
need to
not
check in
fun.
with everyone once a week.
You invited Jeff to pick games with Gordy. I mean,
Yeah, well, that's once we started, because then I'm trying to figure out, well, what do we actually do with Jeff once we have Jeff?
I love Jeff.
I love Jeff too, but now I have to, in my head, I have to figure out how to make this work.
I mean, he closed that interview out like a champ.
Oh, Jeff. Classic Jeff.
Billy, can you imagine week 12 trying to get the Schefters, Gordy Gronkowski,
No.
K-Funk all on at the same
And
time?
Carl, and we have to figure out a time that works for everyone.
Carl.
Can you imagine Shirley Schefter when she sees K-Funk?
Guys, this is a private text conversation. Fuentes, you don't know about this. A private text conversation that we had over the weekend. I don't know. I got the feeling, and I don't want to overpromise here. I got the feeling that the original picking crew missed not doing it last season because of texts that happened.
Interesting.
And you don't know this, but we got a text in our group text. We have a group text with Chris Gronkowski, Jabba Chamberlain. Jabba never participates. Jabba hates us. No. With Chris Gronkowski,
Yes.
Jabba Chamberlain,
Rightfully so.
Mojo.
I will give you an update on Jabba quickly. He wished me good luck right before Rachel played the national championship game.
Okay, there
He
you
did.
go.
He sent me a nice little text.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe he's just
It was
not-
weird.
He's probably not just a group text guy.
Right.
So we got a text from Mojo out of the blue over the weekend that he was at a wedding in Italy, and the bride,
Not his wedding.
not his wedding. He was at a wedding.
Right.
The bride's brother, I think, was the relationship.
Yes.
The bride's brother came up to him at the wedding. He didn't know this person and said to him, "Are you the spread master from God Bless Football in Italy?"
Right.
I think we may get some Mojo appearances next season.
Right. And he's like a year
With Jeff.
removed from being the spread
Jeff
master on God
and
Bless
Shirley.
Football, and he's still having people ask him questions. And I think Billy's right.
Yeah.
They want back in. Like,
Speaking of Jeff,
yeah.
Justin Jefferson, huh?
Really?
Wow.
That's how it's done, people.
That's not professional. I don't know what is.
That's how it's done.
I was wondering how he was going to go from Jeff to Tua. He threw me a curveball. Justin
Quick
Jefferson.
stop at Jefferson. Quick stop at Jefferson. That's how.
Well, what about him?
Well, he got his contract extension that he wanted. He got his deal.
He's the highest paid wide receiver in football, and CeeDee Lamb is next. But CeeDee Lamb will not get as much as Justin. I don't think so.
I don't know.
No way.
No, there's no
he
way.
gets his
Wow.
money.
I think he just goes, give me exactly what you gave him, and I'm done. Like,
Really? And you
yeah.
think he'll get that?
I mean, he had a great year last year.
No, I think the Cowboys will laugh at him and be like, no, we're not giving you the same as
I don't
Justin
know.
Jefferson because you're not Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson just signed the largest non-quarterback contract in the history
That's
of the league.
correct.
And you
Yes.
think that CeeDee Lamb is going to get that?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
So you think
he-
it's not Mike
He had
Lee?
he had a comparable year. I mean, he's the happiest one. about it.
Unlikely. Yeah.
Thank you, Billy.
I'm trying.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I'm trying.
Yes. I was trying to think of a weird way to transition the Tua.
I was trying to get to the word two, and then we're going to tie it into two and just talk about how he's lost weight. And,
Well, I heard you and Mikey saying that you don't like the fact that he lost weight, which is odd
Well,
because everyone's happy for someone who loses weight. Yeah.
off-air conversation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was
Not
just,
everybody.
I was
Not
just
everybody.
like, here's the thing that I don't
Stand next to a
understand.
Buccaneer. I mean,
Here's the thing about Tua. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe they just signed bigger linemen. He didn't really lose weight. Now that we're talking about it,
It's all what is it? A vision.
yeah, it's all perspective.
It's a-
Shirley is worth every penny, Shirley. I mean,
Well,
Genius.
every penny you're not going to pay her. I'm worried about Tua.
I'm going to pay her matzo balls. I'm telling you right
I
now.
don't want Tua to lose weight. I don't want him to get thrown around. I don't want him scrambling. I don't want him to get injured. Faster decisions
1, 2, 3, throw.
or
1, 2,
accuracy.
3, throw.
Exactly
Yes.
right. Don't get cute. Don't start running around. That's how you're going to get hurt. Don't lose weight.
If you get